and enjoy some holiday cheer with us here. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Elaine Spector. Our firm is Harity & Harity. We are an IP boutique with about 40 lawyers. We do patent prosecution in the electromechanical space. Diversity is super important to our firm. As you all know, diversity in the law is a huge issue. It's one of the least diverse professions in the United States. And patent law is even worse because it requires a STEM degree. So we really put a lot of time into trying to move the needle with respect to diversity in law. So driving diversity, we have quarterly webinars. And so this one, we wanted to make it more fun. And I wanted to share with you my experiences with working with Melanie Lippman. Just to give you a little bit of a background, a lot of us, because of the pandemic, are now working remotely, but I started working remotely back in 2017. That's actually why I moved to Harity from an in-house position, because they allowed for remote working. And so when I went from the office setting to remote work, I took all those work clothes that you kind of have to have around that you don't love, like the days that you want to kind of go under the radar. And I just said, we're done. I threw them out. And then I had this new clothing at home, work from home, because we weren't doing video a lot. So I wasn't really putting makeup on. I wasn't really dressing up. And then the pandemic hit and everyone starts using video. So I'm like, okay. And 4 years have gone by and I'm like, I used to enjoy dressing up. I used to enjoy, feeling good in a nice outfit. And I realized that I really didn't have a lot of models anymore because I wasn't going in the office. Occasionally I go to conferences. I'm like, shoot, I gotta throw these together. Black dress, my suit, just some staples, but that was it. Nothing that made me feel really vibrant. And so I wanted to shift that. If you guys are on LinkedIn, you see that I turned 50 yesterday. So that's a huge milestone for me. And I want to feel good. I want to come fully present in all my engagements, and clothing plays a part in that. Whether I wanted to say, no, you're all gone, I don't have to deal with you anymore, to saying like, okay, I had my fun of doing nothing. Now I want to do something else. So I've been working with Melanie for a couple of months, and it's really transformed how I see my clothes. And in fact, even my teenage kids will say, did your stylist pick that up for you? I'm like, of course she did. I would never, I couldn't put this together. So she's added kind of that confidence when I walk in. Even last night we had a concert for my daughter. My husband's like, look at that, look at that outfit. And it really wasn't, it just providing kind of these staples that I can put together and walk out and feel comfortable and not spend so much time. Is this right? Is this not right? Is this okay? Because when we're locked in, we lose that visual of what are people wearing now, and how can we dress differently from what we've been told back when we first started the practice of law. So some of you I started in the 90s. We tried to dress very conservatively, and the black and the almost like trying to blend in with the man. And so Melanie has taught me this different way of embracing color. So I want to introduce you all to Melanie Lippman, and she is just gonna tell us some things of how to maximize what's in our wardrobe and just give us kind of a presentation on how we can be the best through our closets and confident.
Thank you so much, Elaine. I'm going to share my screen with you. And I just want to encourage all of you here. The way that this works, I've taught a lot of these. I used to teach them a lot in person and go to a firm and do all of that stuff. And then 2 years ago, started doing this through Zoom. And the way to get the most out of it is for you to be present, for you to center yourself here, for you to put yourself in these situations, and also to engage in the chat. Because I want to Elaine was wonderful and shared her story, but we all have our own story. And when we really really understand that you're not alone in all of this. I get on the phone with so many women and they're like, I am so embarrassed. My friends love going to the mall. My friends love shopping. My friends, and all of this stuff. And I hate it. And they feel so alone in this. So I want you, if you are resonating with something, if something feels like you, if something just like is like, yes, I want you to hop in the chat. I want you to say yes. I want you to say that's me. I want you to really engage with each other so the women in this room feel like they're not alone. And also, it also is fun. Like, so let's kind of like be present in the chat. You're not going to disrupt me, but definitely start thinking of yourself in these situations, your own version of these situations, and let's have fun with all of this. So what we're going to learn today is just 3 steps to get some confidence through your own closet. So this session is for you if you have a desire to make a greater impact, and you tuning into this, you definitely do. If you're hanging out in this crew, it means that you know that there's more for you and that you want to really be impactful to those around you. The second thing is if you want a system to simplify getting dressed, you're going to get that here. The third thing is if you want to save time, money, and mental energy, is we're going to learn how to do that in our closets. And also if you're ready for a change, if you kind of feel like you're in a rut, like I've been doing, you know, the mullet of wearing a blazer and wearing a nice top and leggings for really, really long, but I want to feel better in my clothes. Here today, you're going to learn a different way to do that. So my approach to getting dressed in style is really unique than most people that are out there that are chatting about outfits and clothes and all of that. Some people feel like it's kind of vain to think about your clothes. But my approach to getting dressed is that clarity provides confidence. So when you know that you're doing something correctly and you have a true understanding of why you're doing it, you are able to try something and go, you know, jump off the deep end and be like, this looks good on me, this feels good on me. My approach to style is also based on proven rules and systems. It is not like something that you read in 17 magazine. It is not trendy. It is timeless, genuine information. I am not going to go and tell you to go and buy the hot thing that is in, and that will be the answer to all of your problems. I feel like that is where a lot of our problems have started in the past. And then my approach is also to make the most of what you already own. So it is, I'm not going to tell you to go and throw away all your clothes and go buy new stuff. Like my goal is to teach you how to make the most of what you have and realize that you probably have some really good stuff in your closet. You're just sick and tired of wearing it the same exact way. So I'm going to give you some new ways to wear it as well. So here is my promise to you, that investing time, energy, and money on clothes is not vain, and that when you confidently show up, you can have a greater impact. I've sat through so many CLAs with women raising their hand and saying, shouldn't they be hiring me, working with me, wanting to engage me, refer me because of my work? 1,000,000% yes. But you ladies all have an analytical brain. And the second we all got on the screens, we were all like, what can we figure out about that one? Like your mind looks for data, collects information. So we want to make sure that the way that we're showing up is in a way that is aligned with how we want to present ourselves. So you taking some time to have control over the messages your clothes are sending is not vain. It's just an extension of how you're marketing yourself, how you're connecting with people, and how you're attracting your people to you. And the cool thing is how you're repelling the people you don't want around you away. It's a really easy, like, you don't like my pink blazer? I'm probably not your cup of tea. Like, we don't want those people that have those strong opinions around us either. So also, I have a really cool gift for you at the end that will help implement all of this. So I want, as I mentioned, be present. If you want to take some notes, but just know that all the information that I'm getting here at the end, you could, I can email you a cheat sheet for all of it. So just be present and don't get stuck in the data. You can kind of get the whole entire gist of what I'm chatting about. So here's the reality, and here's some of the challenges when it comes to getting dressed that I've heard time and time again. Number one, you have a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear. So if you feel like that's you, pop in the chat, raise your hands, like let the person that feels like that's going on know that they're not the only one that feels like they own a lot of stuff, but don't feel really like they have a lot to wear. The second challenge is that you don't want to make a mistake. So there is this fear of doing something wrong. So you just want to play it safe. And I understand, like you don't want to be known, oh my God, did you see she tried to rock that red blazer and she just missed? Or where is she going? You don't want that. So I understand the hesitation for trying something new. The third thing is that you probably feel like you're not so great at shopping, probably have spent hours and wasted online shopping, fitting room, all of those things. That is not like a fun, pretty situation. And then the fourth challenge is that it's hard to kind of think about clothes when you're not loving what you see in the mirror. So we're still in our houses a lot. We've all have done something, binged on pretzels, binged on that, not worked out the amount that we thought we were going to be getting. So it's also hard sometimes to really get dressed and feel good in your clothes when you're not loving and see what you are seeing in the mirror. But here's the opportunity, and here's where we could change the conversation that we're having with ourselves about those challenges. Number one, you probably have a lot of great outfits in your closet. They're just waiting to be discovered. So what I find is most women, they buy one thing and it goes with that one thing, and that's how they wear it. And you wear it that way over and over and over again, and then you're like done with it. And it probably can be worn 5 other ways. You just need to figure out how to do it. The second thing is that there are rules. So again, none of this information that I'm teaching you is trendy. There's literally a framework behind it. For your own personal rules, it's super easy to get dressed and it doesn't feel complicated. The third thing is that once you have clarity over what you are looking for when you're shopping, it's super easy. It's like going grocery shopping. It's like, boop, 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 got it. I can move on from the rest of my day. You don't have to be stuck finding something that may inspire you. And then the fourth thing is that when you learn how to dress in a way that embraces your body and where you are at this moment, it's easy to get dressed, as opposed to using our clothes to hide or kind of being at war with our body. So once you go through these 4 things, it's such a different approach to getting dressed. And that's really what we're going to chat about today. So here is how I got to where I am. And how I really have found law to be my chosen area of where I want to bring my impact to. So I grew up in the fashion industry. I was not someone who hated shopping. I love every single thing about clothes. But when it came the moment when I needed to be visible and when I needed to do my job, I got stuck. I did all of the things I now teach my clients not to do. Is I was on a hamster wheel. I always wanted to be trendy. I had my own challenges with visibility from things that I was taught to me and learned growing up of not drawing too much attention to yourself. I had all of this stuff in my head. Also piggyback with, I did not love my body. I was constantly at war with it. When I was 13 years old, a boy in my class once made a comment to me saying, your legs are not meant for shorts. Why are you wearing shorts? So I literally used my clothes to hide time and time again. And it wasn't until I started feeling embracing where I was, and then also learn the system that I'm going to teach to you today, that I was able to feel good in my clothes. Fast forward, I found feeling confident in your clothes is the greatest thing in the universe. And I wanted to preach it to everyone. So I went to FIT, I got a degree in image consultation, color consultation. And my first client that I ever worked with, besides my friends that I would do for free that paid me, is a partner in a New York City law firm and a mom of 3. And on our first appointment, we got to know each other, and I couldn't help. I'm sitting there in the appointment and I'm like, why did this woman hire me? I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, she has really nice clothes. She has a really strong sense of self. And I feel like she's like, I could learn a thing or two from her. Like, what can I do for her? And she started to open up and share with me that she felt this really major tug within what she liked and what she felt she should be wearing. There was just this conflict inside of her of she's like, I like this stuff, but she felt like she was dressing like a man all of the time. And she is one of the most feminine women I know. And it was like in her head, there was like a battle all the time. And she just felt like Elaine mentioned before, there was no one in her office that she wanted to emulate. There was no one that she's like, she looks powerful, she looks confident. All these other women that were around her were like, I don't want to look like her. I don't want to feel like her. Like, I don't want, like the woman that like works like 97,000 hours a week and like never sees her kids. You're like, yeah, don't want to be like you. It was like that with like how these women were showing up. And what ended up happening is we figured out what her style was, great. But I kept hearing the same thing of all of these female attorneys having this inner conflict. And I was like, there is something to this. Like this is, and I've done so much research. I've had millions of conversations of figuring it out. And it really has to start sometimes mentally of like how you view yourself, being able to take a compliment, really saying like, I want you to pay attention to me and listen to me. And I am going to be loud sometimes in how I dress because you need to listen to me and I'm going to not be the wallflower. So there really is, it really, really resonated with me. All of the visibility challenges these women were having, and I wanted to make it easy for them. And I also knew that a system and a framework was where it was going to help them, as opposed to here's the million things you can do. It's here's the 3 things you need to do in your wardrobe immediately so you can feel the momentum of it working so we can move on. So that is me. And that is where I kind of found the women in the law. So how about you? Can any of you relate to my first client, to Aileen shared her story? Like what for you kind of pops up when you are getting dressed? And what are your challenges? Just pop it in the chat, start chatting with each other about all this stuff. Keep paying attention to me, but have a conversation about all this. This is important stuff, I have to tell you. I host a course for female attorneys, and these conversations that come up, that these women feel so seen, so heard, and they're realizing, I didn't even realize that I was hiding or that this came up, that this really is what is making me stuck, and I can move forward now that I realize that this is something that I'm working with. So here are the 3 steps. Here's how we are going to feel confident using our closets. Number 1, and it's one of the ones that gets brushed like over so frequently, is you need to get clear on what your style is. And I understand all of the things of like, well, how do I even figure that one out? Like, I find that most of the women I work with don't even have the words to verbalize what their style is. But I have to tell you, if you have an opinion about, if you can say, I do not like that thing, and trust me, when I tell someone, tell me what you don't like, they have all sorts of opinions. If you have an idea of what you like and what you don't like, especially, you have some style and you can verbalize it. When you're not clear on what your style is you're not sure what you're working towards. It's like you having like someone telling you, you need to bring some revenue into the firm and you don't know how much. It's like, where do I have to bring some arbitrary number in. You need to know what you're working towards. The other thing is that you're wasting the time, the money, and the energy because you're just spinning. It's like you're circling the airplane. There's not a gate available. You don't know what you're working towards. You don't know. You can't build upon something. There's no strategy. And then you're not having the impact because you just aren't really, really clear. So this is the way that I teach my clients how to figure out what their style is. Number 1, it's what you like. You don't want to be wearing clothes that you think are ugly and that you hate. So it's really getting clear on what are the things that I like, what are the things that I think are pretty or beautiful, I'm attracted to, how I want to feel. The second thing is understanding the messages that your clothes are sending. And this is a really big one, and we're going to chat more about it in the next point. But really understanding what your clothes are saying to everyone around you is super powerful, because you're like, oh, I want more of this, but less of that. I want to be more approachable and less standoffish. And then the third thing is you get to lean into your confidence. So you get to actually really understand what makes you feel confident, because you want more of that. So whether it's, a pair of high heels, whether it's perfume, whether it's a color, whether it's a print, if you just know one or two things that make you feel confident, it really, really helps you get clear on what you're working towards, because you don't want a bunch of mediocre, this is okay clothes. Like, you have enough of that. You want like, this makes me feel really good, and this is going to make me do something hard. So just a quick example. This is my client. She has her own firm in Denver, and she also hosts a really cool podcast called The Law Mother. Before she started Standout Style, she was just like, kind of like, I wear black blazers because I'm an attorney. It was basically, that was like her mental space about getting dressed. And when she went through the process of figuring out what her style is, she had this huge realization of, there is a specific store in the mall. For her, it was Express, that she's like, I really like Express. I like the blazers that are there. I feel like I like it, but I always felt like it was a little too edgy for me, and that's not what a lawyer should be wearing. So she was kind of like, she liked it, but she felt that she wasn't like, it wasn't, right for her, or it wasn't something that she could pull off, quote unquote. But when she actually went through the framework, she was like, Express is my store. Like, this is how I want, like, the messages that Express sends is someone who's feminine, stepping into their femininity, and also really has more of a classic twist. And she's like, that's me. That's who I want to be. So you're able to quickly be like, yes, I want more of that. And that resonates with me. So because she was able to figure out this is what her style was, getting dressed for things is just easy, as opposed to, this is what I should wear. It's like, no, this is what, like, I'm standing in front of 30 people and I feel good. And I know that I'm sending the messages out there. So you really can have a greater impact when you understand what you want to be putting out there, and what feels good for you and what feels confident. So I want you to think about for 1 second, there's probably one thing that you should be doing. Like, it's that thing that you're like, well, if I did this, I could, elevate my career. And it's kind of that thing that scares you, and it's like a little bit hard, and it's probably a little bit like annoying. So maybe, like, it used to be 2 years ago, is I probably should go to networking events. I probably should join the board of a non-for-profit because the right people are around me. Like, Elaine has an amazing vlog, like, that she does that. And that's her stepping into her power and having impact. We all have like a version of what that is. For one of my clients, she's like, I'm doing a TED Talk. Like, that's it. I'm going to do a TED Talk, and it's going to be about tax law, and people are going to love it. Like, because this is who I want to be. Another Pam that I just spoke about, she's writing a book about being an attorney and being a mom. Like, we all have that thing that you're like, oh, it's hard, but I really should do it. I want you to just think about what that thing is. And it's different for everyone. But like, what's that one thing that you're like, ooh, if I did this, the X, Y, and Z would happen. And so I want you to shoot me an email, because here's the deal with everything. Once you put something in writing, the ball starts rolling. So it could be a sentence, it could be a word. Shoot me an email about what the thing that you feel like would be to get you to your next level that you should be doing. I'm not going to hold you to it. So don't act like, oh, I'm going to put it in writing. But just when you put it down there, your mind is going to start thinking about ways you can do it. Hit send. Doesn't have to be pretty. Does not have to be grammatically correct. Okay, here's what I want you to do next. I want you to close your eyes. I can see all of you, so I can see if you're not closing your eyes. And I want you to imagine yourself 3 months from now. It's 2022. And you know what makes you feel confident. Like, you have complete clarity over what that is. And you're able to powerfully walk into any situation with confidence. I want you to think about what it looks like. And then what does it feel like? And then lastly, what are you able to accomplish because of that? Okay, you can open your eyes now. But people don't realize, here's my point of that. People don't realize how powerful our clothes are. And it's the difference between you standing in, whether you're speaking on a panel or you're presenting a new idea to someone or you're working with a client. If you are futzing with your skirt, or if you are like fiddling with your necklace, or you're fiddling with all of those things, you're not 100% present. So the goal is for your clothes to help you do hard things and not to hinder. And it's better to have less stuff that is good than to have a bunch of stuff in your closet that's just mediocre and feels bleh. So I want you to just start realizing when you feel good, or when you're like, you know what, I feel really good today, and I'm going to like make some noise and raise my hand and say something that may not be what everyone else in the room is saying, and think and notice what you're wearing that day, because that's the day you're wearing something that makes you feel confident. Where the day that you're like, oh, I don't want to put my camera on. Like, you want less of those clothes in your closet. You want more of the, I'm going to make some noise today clothes. So step number 2 in figuring out how to make your clothes to really help you feel confident is to learn the messages that your clothes are sending. And this is something they chatted about and the figuring out what your style is. So our clothes are the largest form of nonverbal communication. They send messages, like literally, like you see someone, your clothes are talking. And I'll give you the example of, because I did a little bit of research on this a few weeks ago for a post on LinkedIn. So has anyone ever thought about why do all judges wear black robes? I was just like, I knew there was something to it, because I knew black is very, I've done like the why do, I've done lots of like questions on Google and reading articles. And so I looked this up 2 weeks ago. And the reason why judges wear black robes is to show that they're all the same, that literally their main goal is to enforce the law, and there's absolutely no opinion going on. So that's their job, is to just, this is the law, this is how the law is being told, and this is what the law says. So, but sometimes like that works in certain situations, and other situations it doesn't. So I just want you to think about the messages that your clothing is sending. We're going to get a little deeper into the black in a second. So, but when you don't understand the messages your clothing is sending, and you're just like winging it and just wearing anything and just saying my clothes don't matter, all of that stuff, this is what happens, is that you don't have control. You kind of don't know what the messages are being said out. You're just kind of wearing anything. People don't know what to expect from you. So people want to trust you. People like consistency. People want to know that you're going to be on time, that you're going to do good work, and that you're going to show up. If you are constantly dressing in a different way, you're not showing that consistency. And then the third thing is that if your clothing is not sending out clear messages, you're not able to create those authentic messages, because authentic relationships, because your clothes really are there to create a connection with people. It's they're gravitating towards you because of what you're wearing, because of the message that's being sent. So the quick fix to all of this, and I'm glad right now that I'm on a computer screen and not in front of you so you can't throw tomatoes at me, is to stop relying on black. So I can tell you the 7 million reasons why black is the most amazing color, because I've heard them all, and I believe a lot of them because they work, but I also tried and sold them by clients telling me why. And so black makes you look thin, black goes with everything. No one has an opinion about black. It's conservative, it's easy. I understand all of the things about black. But here's the thing with black. Black doesn't look good on 80% of the population. It's just not super flattering. Again, it's that formality of the judge of like, no personality here. Color creates connection. The other thing is also, we're all on video. black in video does not translate very, very well. It really it just kind of looks drab. Our computers, cameras are not they're not like what CNBC has. They're not good technology. It's bad. So the black doesn't do anyone justice. And it also just does not create connection. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being none, I wear it, every so often, 10, pop in the chat, is black your go-to? Let's be real. And I am not here to tell you, I promise you, I am all into reality. I'm not here to say that make black disappear, don't wear black. I'm just trying to teach you what can you wear with your black so you are able to create a connection, so it's more flattering. You could add some vibrancy into your skin and all of that. So just pop in the chat if you are black is your this is me all black all day, or if there's some other colors that are in there. So here is the way that I teach my clients to work with color. Again, I'm all about systems. This is science. It's literally, I didn't make this up. There is color theory involved. The colors that flatter you. It's not some willy-nilly. This is the trendy color. It's literally, these are the colors that enhance your personal coloring. It's based on your skin tone. It's based on your eye color, and it's based on your hair color. So the way that you could figure out what colors look good on you is simple color analysis. People offer them. I offer it. You can get it done by lots and lots of different people. But the number one hiccup that I feel that people have when they get a color analysis is they just get this information and they don't know what to do with it. So it's oh, these are some pretty colors that look good on me. The key to this, and this is what I do with my clients, is let's figure out how to narrow it down and make it work within your closet. So that's the second thing is, okay, rainbow of what looks good on you. It's great information, but what actually are the colors that translate into your closet that you want to wear? So it's not so many options. And then what gets to happen is really, really cool is then you get to have a strategic wardrobe and everything goes together. It's as opposed to having, here's these one pair of burgundy pants that I wear with a black blazer because that's black and red go together. It's no, you can wear it with this blue blazer with this top that has some burgundy. So it gets to really be about building blocks. Did anyone have animals when they were growing up? You had the lion top, but with a lion pant, so you knew it matched. This is the adult version of it. Once you stick to a color palette of 5 to 7 colors, the idea is for them all to go together. So you have so many more options in your closet, as opposed to being limited by this one shirt goes with one top and I'll wear it 3 times, then I'm sick of it. And then that's it. It's really about building blocks and how to make it work together. So you have so many more options. And that's really what my clients love is I have so much clothes I could wear in my closet. I just keep wearing it the same way. It's really about figuring out how to wear it differently. So step 1 today for implementation about color is, since I can't do a color analysis for each and every one of you, these are jewel tones. They look good on everyone. They are universal, go good with on everyone's skin coloring, and they look great on Zoom. So with these jewel tones, you can literally start wearing these, especially on video. You have my permission. You are going to do it right. No one is going to tell you that you look sick or that you need some more rest if you wear any of these colors. These will all look good on you. And then here's a second step, being in the holiday spirit. These are colors that pair amazing with burgundy. So if you were going to, it's not I'm going to say, hey, get rid of your black and start wearing lime green, because that's really awesome. This is burgundy, ladies. This is, no one's going to have an opinion about burgundy on you. It's navy blue. It's gray. It's still in conservative realm, but these are some colors that coordinate beautifully with burgundy. So if you wanted to pair something, whether it is a blazer or a cardigan or a necklace or a scarf or something like that, these 3 colors work beautifully. And then these are prints that pair beautifully with burgundy. So easy cheat sheet. You will get this in an email from me. So don't feel like you need to take a picture, but it really is about what are, how can I master wearing one color with another color, as opposed to there's so many options. I'm just going to go with black. because that's where that rut begins. Like, how many times have you gone into a store and you're like, oh, this is pretty, I'm going to buy it. I don't have anything to go with it. I'll just wear it with black. Like, there's a whole lot of stuff probably hanging in your closet that was bought under the idea of it'll go with my black stuff, but probably could go with one of these things. So just kind of start, playing with and thinking about the other ways you can wear color. So drop in the chat. I want you to commit which is one of these color combinations that you're going to try. Is it going to be, are you going to try burgundy with leopard? I know some ladies love leopard. Some ladies hate leopard. I am no judgment zone there on the leopard, but this is a really good combination if you like leopard. Or a paisley or a floral usually has some sort of burgundy in it. Anything with a rose is going to have burgundy or one of these three things. Pick one, commit, do it before Monday. Okay, and then this is one of my beautiful clients that was in Standout Style. She literally wears color amazing, and this is her photo shoot that she did, and she styled this herself. So her big thing was that when she started working with me, she's like, but I'm an attorney and I need to look like an attorney and people need to know that I'm an attorney and all of that stuff. But right here, she still is professional. She still is someone that you feel a connection with, but she's wearing color beautifully. So I don't want you to have this idea in your head that in order to work in a conservative, male-dominated field, that you can't wear color. You can wear color and you could rock it. You have so many more options than your male counterparts when it comes to what you can wear. And here is step number 3. Keep it simple. Part of my job is just giving my clients one thing to do. They like to take all of the information I teach them and memorize it and file it and create spreadsheets with it. And it becomes all about the learning. How many ladies have you signed up for a course and you just literally went into analysis paralysis? Like, let's be real. I've done it all though. I'm like, I don't want to do the work. So I'm just going to re-alphabetize what the work is. Like, no, this is not about taking, this information and memorizing it and doing it perfectly. It is about keeping it simple and figuring out one thing you can do. So when you're not keeping it simple, you go into major decision fatigue. And then what ends up happening is you're like, this is good enough. It's fine. I am done. You get into too many options. I remember a few weeks ago, I was having a chat with someone that was telling me that she, really liked her work clothes, but she didn't know what to wear on the weekends. So she went into a Lawyer Mom Facebook group and she asked the question, what do I wear on the weekends? And she got 100 different answers. And I said, well, what'd you do with the answers? She goes, well, I created an Excel spreadsheet and I tallied and I logged. And I was like, so what'd you do with that? She goes, it's still sitting on my computer. So no, don't go into overwhelm. This is the challenge with getting dressed is you go onto Google, you're like, okay, what do I wear business casual? And you get 7 million pages and those people don't look like you. They don't have your body. They don't have your closet. They may not have your budget, like all of that stuff. Not too many options. We figure out what you can do with what you have. And then there's no clear implementation. All of this is all about the implementation. That's why I'm sending you this gift is what are the 3 things you can do in your closet immediately? Because once you like the results, you'll want to do more. So don't get stuck in analysis paralysis, please. I understand there's so much information. So drop in the chat, how long does it take you to figure out what to wear each day? Aileen, if it is more than 2 minutes, don't write it. I'm just kidding. But so just like how long, you could pick any situation. If it's like for a Zoom call, don't think like the kid drop off thing. Like that is probably, but like how long does it take you if you care about the outcome of your outfit? How long does it take you to get dressed to figure out what to wear? Okay, ready? Whatever the number was, you're not alone. On average, women, not saying you're average, but this is a survey. Women spend 4,380 hours in their lifetime figuring out what to wear. By the way, that's not that much time. It's like 15 minutes a day. Like we've all probably have spent 15 minutes and we've all probably spent 45 minutes when like you're going to like meet like your really chic friend from college for at the fancy like downtown bar thing. Like that's a stressful situation. My stressful situation is pool party, kid's birthday party. Like stop having parties that involve bathing suits, please. Like and most of the women that I like associate with my all of my sons, friends, parents, all these women do is go to a bar class, yoga class, like so I'm like, I don't want to be in front of in a bathing suit in front of you people. So this is not a lot of, it's a lot of time, but this is on average how many hours, you know, and you guys bill by the hour. Like this is a lot of time. Like, so how can we do this better? So here's a quick note. And this is the thing that I really want to drive home, that you do not have to have amazing style. You do not have to like read every single page of Vogue to feel confident in your clothes. I am not a great cook. I promise you, I literally gave my husband salmonella poisoning the first time I cooked for him. It is amazing that he married me, but I now can follow a recipe and cook chicken for the appropriate amount of time, and actually create a meal that tastes good. I'm not a gourmet chef, but that's what this is all about, is really what is the framework? What is the formula that you can follow to get dressed? It's not about this is too much information. It's really about a system and a strategy. So this is the style pathway that the 5 steps that I teach my clients when it comes to showing up. Number 1, it's mindset. Number 2, it's that clarity in your style that I told you about. Number 3, it's really figuring out what colors look good on you and how to put it into your closet. The 4th thing is really about fit, and that's really about learning how to dress to embrace your body type. And then the last is how to create outfits. And this is the key here. Once you have 5, 10 outfits in your closet, you're golden. You can show up for anything. So here's what is so good about the framework. The framework gives you the ability to do anything. It really, you can make the most of what you have. It's not like you have to keep buying stuff. It's simplification in shopping, and it gives you one thing to work on. So I'm going to give you a framework today. Okay. One step again, just one step out of this. So this is one of the things that I know that Elaine really, really likes is accessorizing. Now she likes accessorizing because she knows how to do it. One of those things that I hear from women all of the time is like, this jewelry thing is not my thing. Like it is overwhelming. I do not understand what it is. It's actually really easy, and it makes you able to put together clothes really, and outfits really simple. So it basically all you need to learn how to do is to match things. Like literally, if you have a necklace, you just need to coordinate it with one thing that is in your outfit. It also is like the icing on the cake. So if you have these, you know, the colors that I showed you before, 2 colors that go together, if you want to like drill down that those colors go together, it's getting a necklace or a pair of earrings in those 2 colors. It's just matching or coordinating. It's really, really simple. It's not that complicated. The other thing also is going and finding, again, when you have 5 colors, it's not like you have to have a whole entire rainbow. You're only working with 5 colors. So it's just finding the colors that are in what you're wearing and wearing an accessory that's the same color. It's something that is called the color pulling theory. So all of these pieces were created with someone who like knows more about color than anyone else. They have a degree in art, anyone who designs clothing. So it's basically going and looking at what is in the colors that are in a piece of clothing that you have, a print, and just pulling the color out with an accessory. So it could be a pair of shoes, it can be a necklace, it could be an earring. It's a great way to have fun with your clothes, add some personality, and also being on video. It's a great way to own your box and really show up and make a statement, is to just have something that shows your personality. And that's what it's really about, is really having something that feels uniquely you in your wardrobe. So I want you ladies to make a commitment to stop overcomplicating getting dressed. I promise you it is super, super simple. There, I gave you 3 things to think about. And so just work on those 3 things. That's it. Not 17 things, just the 3. So here's my gift for you. I'll pop it in the chat also. This is the cheat sheet, which is going to have the implementation steps for those 3 things that we learned today. I have it here also. So if you just want to go there, click on it, and it literally will just be the 3 things we learned and a cheat sheet. And then here's the 3 steps just to review. Get clear on what your style is, learn the messages that your clothing is sending. And number 3, keep it simple. Stop making it hard. We like to overcomplicate things, I know. And that is all. I don't know if you ladies wanted to go into the breakout rooms, if you want to ask questions. Elaine, tell me what you want to do.
It is up to the group. I'm sure people have questions. If you all want to do, if we have any questions, and then after that, we can go into breakout rooms.
Absolutely. Anyone have any questions?
I have a question. Hi.
Hello.
I'm Janae. Thank you, Melanie, for that presentation. That was very helpful. So one thing I struggle with, like I routinely try to go through my closet and see, you know, when is it time to get rid of something if I'm not wearing it. So what I struggle with is, how do I know if something might come back in style, or, you know, I didn't wear it this last season, but maybe I'll find something else to pair it with.
So two things is usually when we don't wear something, it's either we don't like it, like, you know, like, and there's the idea of we don't like it a lot and it's okay. And you don't want to get rid of it because it's okay. So really think about, why am I not wearing it? And look through your closet and see, what are 3 things I can pair with it? And if you don't have 3 things that you can pair with it, maybe it is that you just don't have the piece. And then, so if that's why you're not wearing it, because you're missing something. I find most people have either a lot of neutrals and a lot of statement pieces. The people that have a lot of neutrals need a little statement, and the people that have a lot of statement need some neutrals. So just kind of see what's going on with the piece. Am I not wearing it because I'm missing something? And it's either I love it and I want to make an investment and buy 2 or 3 things to go with it, or it's time to let it go. It's not, I'm not going to invest more money into it. So that is as far as if you could figure out if you're not wearing it because of not having something. As far as holding on to something, the way that the fashion industry works is things kind of are really, really out in 5 years. Okay. So if it's something that you haven't worn in 3 or 4 years, it's going to come back differently. Think about like when you wore jeans 7 years ago. Like most of us were trying to hide our underwear because our jeans were so low. Like we all had to wear belts, we had to tuck our shirts in. Now jeans are so high. That happened gradually, but like when you look back at it, you're like, that really happened. So the fashion cycle does that. And if you would want to wear it, let's say when it came back in style, you would want to wear a different version of it. Okay. So it's like, you're not going to wear your leather pants that you wore in high school. Like they're back in, but you don't want to wear those. So if it's something that you feel like you're good, if it's going to come back and you're going to want to wear it, you're probably going to want to wear the updated version of it.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anna Maria, do you have a question?
Melanie, I have a question for you. Just kind of following up on what was just asked. How do you feel about holding on to stuff where you're like, if I just lost like that next like 5 to 10 that I've like, you know, been putting off or like put on during COVID, you know, do you recommend like keeping those pieces as like a motivation, you know, to fit back in them, or just kind of like toss and embrace a bigger size?
It depends if it's like 5 to 7 pounds and you think you're going to get to it potentially. I would say get them out of your closet. I want them not in your like, I don't want you to see them every day. That's torture. And pack them up and put them somewhere else. So whether it's in a Tupperware or someone else's closet or whatever, I want only things that fit you and you could wear in your eye space, because it also makes you look like you have options that you don't have. So get rid of those immediately in your closet and just pack them up. And you'll know in a few months if it's something that you may go into a little bit quicker or not. And then that will be your answer as far as that. I would kind of be realistic and think about it. as far as if you're going to let something go because of size. The one thing that I see a lot of people doing is if they did gain weight, is not finding a real solution and finding band-aids. And that doesn't feel good. And that isn't a good thing. So I'm not saying like, okay, you gained 10 pounds and you're not happy with it, you know, go spend $1 million and buy a new wardrobe. But what I'm really saying is don't be punishing yourself and going on Amazon and buying 3 dresses in a bigger size that you hate, but they fit you. I want you to find what are 3 things you can buy and feel confident in immediately, because that is where you're going to make smarter decisions. If it's working out or eating healthier or all of those things that our mind needs to do, I want you to find a solution for you right now that feels good. So you have like 3 or 4 go-to outfits and you're not kind of band-aiding it.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. Yeah,
welcome.
absolutely.
Anyone else? Sorry, I'm just going through everyone to see if anyone's raising their hand.
Well, thank you so much, Melanie. I hope everyone learned a lot. I know I've been working with Melanie and I learn something every time. And I think the more we share about what our struggles are, the more that we can grow. And so thank you again. Are you all ready for breakout? We have maybe 10, 15 minutes for breakout rooms. All right, so thank you again, everyone, for coming. And we hope you got a lot out of it. And thanks again, Melanie.
My pleasure.
All right, Samantha is going to break us out.
You guys should all have an option to join a breakout room. Just, do you see it, Constance?
No.
See. I can,
I see you, Anna Maria, and myself. Oh, okay. Thank you.
there you go.
How's the drink, Samantha?
It's great. I figured as people were dropping off the main or dropping out of the breakout rooms, we could come back to a main session for anybody who still wanted to chat. So we could have a bigger breakout room instead of 4 of them with like 2 people in it. And I forgot to take a picture with the whole group, but if everybody who's on could smile, I can at least get a photo of the few of us. All right, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
So that was awesome. That was so awesome.
I have to say I'm motivated now.
You have 3 things to do. That's all you need. 3 things. If you haven't gotten my message.
I need some more earrings. That's what I've decided. That's job
that's
one.
one thing.
Yeah, Melanie, I think everybody in the breakout room I was in at least said how helpful it was, and the chat was great. A lot of people sharing ideas. So hopefully everyone took away some important things from here to be more confident.
Yes, definitely. And also, I think one of the biggest things is just realizing that this is like a conversation that as women, how to have a greater impact and how to feel confident. It's a conversation that needs to be had.
Absolutely. Awesome. Did anybody else have anything to share? I know we're over the time, but that's okay.
No, I really enjoyed it. So thank you, Melanie. And thank you, Elaine, for bringing Melanie. This was really good. So I never, ever really thought of style, never really cared about it, but I realized that I do have a style and I should just embrace it more, so. Yeah.
I always say, that when you feel your style and you're showing up, you attract your people to you. And you also, as I said before, the people that aren't your people, you repel, which is good.
Right. It's true.
The filter.
Right.
I think part of Melanie's course with other women, other female lawyers, mostly female lawyers, that's interesting is really defining your style. Like certain classic style but you don't until you actually see it and put a label on it, then you can say, what am I? Where do I fall into it? And you can look at brands that align with that. And then you don't make bad choices anymore. Because that's not aligning. I'll look at something and go, that looks so cute. And I'm like, that's not my style. Now I can say that's not my style. And I'm not going to make a mistake. Although at Punta Cana, I did make a mistake and had this long, flowy, bohemian skirt. And then I didn't try it on and I bought it. I put it home. I was like, that's not my style.
There should be I was having this conversation, I think it started on LinkedIn. There should be a rental vacation, boutique, because we never wear any of the things we buy on vacation. You're in Greece and all of a sudden you're like, I'm just going to wear white eyelet for the rest of my life. And it's like, no, I'm not. There should be you go to the lobby, you give them $100, you get to swap the whole time that you're away, and then you leave it there.
That's such a smart business idea, Melanie.
Let's do it, ladies. We're going to do it.
I love it. I love it.
Rent the paradise it's going to be.
I love that. That's so true, though. It's I
one
really
thing about knowing yourself, you can't get sold anything anymore. You go into a store and someone was like, oh my God, it's so amazing on you. You just need this. And you could quickly be like, no, I don't. Thank you.
Yeah. I went to a store, Melanie, when I went shopping with my mother-in-law, and we went into the store and this woman was helping me and she was showing me all stuff that was her style. It was and I could I'm like, no. And then this other woman came over and she saw what I was wearing. And it was in outfits that, that we had, that you had picked out for me. And she then picked out all these things that were in alignment with that style. And this woman was really in tune with could see what I was wearing and then saying, okay, let's kind of align with what her style is. So everything she was bringing in, I was like, yes. So I think just being clear on your styles, what your style is, and there's different types of styles, and understanding what that is will clarify, I think also. And that's what I love about that workshop that we're in, I have a lot of catch up to do because I've been away.
Totally cool. All recorded.
Love it.
Well, thank you so much.
My
everybody, Melanie,
pleasure.
Elaine,
Thank you, ladies, for
Samantha.
hanging out, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the holidays.
Yeah, happy
you.
holidays,
Brilliant.
everyone. Thank you again so much for attending today.
And thanks,
Bye.
Harity and Harity, for getting out the invitations out.
Absolutely. We're so happy you guys joined us.
All right.
All right,
Thank you,
guys.
Bye.
See you later.
A good one.